Hi, everyone. My name is Carrie Randabolio. I'm project manager on dementia-inclusive spaces for community access, participation, and engagement, which I'll call DemSCAPE from here on out. DemSCAPE is a 3-year Public Health Agency of Canada funded study, and I recently completed a Master of Arts in Gerontology at Simon Fraser University this September. I've been with the DemSCAPE project as project manager for over 2 years now. Thank you so much for your interest and commitment to helping make Vernon a more dementia-friendly and inclusive community. We'll be giving a very brief overview of our project, introducing our evidence-based dementia-inclusive planning and design guidelines, and other tools to lay the groundwork for our team's upcoming workshop with City of Vernon staff in the spring. Even if you're not a municipal planner, architect, or engineer, don't worry, I'm not either. My background is in art therapy and long-term care. We hope to leave you with some new ideas and resources. So DemSCAPE is a collaboration between researchers at Simon Fraser University, University of British Columbia, and the University of Northern British Columbia. Our co-investigators are researchers in the fields of gerontology, nursing, urban planning, social work, and with the support of a passionate interinstitutional team. So a little bit of background. Almost 60% of older adults living with dementia reside in the community. The neighborhood-built environment has a key role in out-of-home activity and influences the health and well-being of people living with dementia. It's also widely regarded as a setting that offers functional, social, and psychological support, as well as opportunities to maintain community-based activities and social participation. So this is where dementia-friendly and inclusive communities come into the picture. Alzheimer's Disease International defines dementia-friendly and inclusive community as a place in which people with dementia and their care partners are empowered, supported, and included in society, understand their rights, and recognize their full potential. But research on the built environment and dementia-inclusive planning is relatively sparse, reinforcing the importance of evidence-based neighborhood design principles to help support people living with dementia maintain both community connections and independence as long as possible. So leading us to the objectives of the DemSCAPE study. First, to identify neighborhood destinations that people living with dementia visit and changes in patterns of those visits over time, and identifying neighborhood-built environmental features that affect their outdoor mobility, engagement, and social participation. DemSCAPE is the first study focusing on this area in Canada. So 32 community-dwelling people living with mild to moderate dementia or mild cognitive impairment participated independently or in dyads in June to December 2022. Dyads refer to participant pairs where the person with lived experience was supported by a care partner, who is usually a spouse, adult child, or a close friend. So we engaged participants through mixed methods sequential design in a series of 4 interviews. Something special about DemSCAPE was session 3, which was a video recorded and photo documented walk-along interview. A walk-along interview is like a guided tour and took place in each participant's neighborhood on a route of their choice. To give you a better idea of what the walk-along interviews looked like, here I am during the pilot wearing the hat-mounted GoPro, and our research team was ahead with a community advisory committee member as we walked around the SFU Vancouver campus. On the right is one of our last walk-alongs. So participants had the choice to wear a GoPro on a hat, a backpack strap, or clip to a mobility aid, or wear no GoPro at all, demonstrating one aspect of our flexible and iterative approach to personalized methods for the comfort, safety, and preferences of each participant. So our team is currently conducting interrelated streams of analysis, including thematic analysis of interview transcripts, video analysis of walk-along interview footage, and statistical analysis of the session 1 questionnaires using the ACT-OUT survey, as well as geographic information systems spatial analysis. By combining video stills, transcripts, and GPS data, we're able to identify key wayfinding features of the neighborhood-built environment from the perspective of each participant. From our findings, we've developed evidence-based knowledge mobilization tools, including a photo exhibit which can be viewed on our website and will be expanding with a Prince George collection soon. So from this particular image, the participant is pointing at an interesting public art feature across the street. And she says, "Look at the artwork over there. Different, eh? Different is good. I look for it." So in addition to the photo exhibit, our project has created 3 main knowledge mobilization resources. The first being dementia-inclusive planning and design guidelines to inform municipal planners and decision makers on physical planning and design. Next is an environmental audit tool for community-based dementia advocacy organizations and people living with dementia to audit the neighborhood environment and identify intervention projects. And a short video to increase community and public awareness and understanding of the environmental issues with the walking experiences of 3 of our study participants. In keeping the focus on building your dementia-inclusive knowledge base, we'll quickly introduce the fundamentals of our dementia-inclusive planning and design guidelines, and we'll save the rest for a future session. We totally acknowledge that this is a lot of information to digest. So our dementia-inclusive planning and design guidelines. We know that well-being considerations look different for people as well as different communities. We recognize that people living with dementia have unique needs in terms of health and well-being. So we collaborated with the urban design and consulting firm Happy Cities to create a set of dementia-inclusive planning and design guidelines that municipalities, developers, and community organizations can use to support well-being for people living with dementia through the neighborhood built environment. So it's like another way to look at creating dementia-inclusive communities from the ground up. The guidelines are based on best practices and learnings drawn from a combination of research and literature review, interviews with municipal planners, and a community forum. There are some different key audiences in mind, primarily municipalities, developers, community organizations, as well as people with lived experience and their care partners to help them understand how the environment works at a planning and design level. In reviewing literature, 6 principles are key for dementia-friendly design. Familiar, features that people have seen before and can easily recognize. Comfortable, welcoming, peaceful, quiet, and pleasant spaces to pause, rest, or socialize, and also helps reduce sensory overstimulation. Accessible, people of all ages and abilities can access the neighborhood. Distinct, neighborhoods have varied and interesting features, including landmarks to help people navigate. Legible, obvious design cues that clearly communicate the function or purpose of a space, feature, path, or building. And safe, spending time in the public realm without experiencing fears or risks. In our conversations with planners, organizations, care partners, and people with lived experience, we encountered one common theme: that dementia-inclusive neighborhoods benefit everyone. So from these guidelines, we've created 20 strategies, which are high-level categories of action within the built environment, and 69 actions. So these are specific examples of how to support people living with dementia through design of the built environment. And these 69 actions and 20 strategies are divided into 3 design realms, which organize information based on the scale and the stage of implementation. So at the neighborhood scale, these are high-level planning decisions. The street scale represents medium-scale decisions, largely around street and pedestrian infrastructure, and the detailed design scale. So those are micro-environments like materials and amenities like seating or toilets. So it's one thing to create great tools. The next step is to share them. It's our pleasure to collaborate with Barbara and the City of Vernon team, as well as Sana and Andrea with the Alzheimer Society of BC. Thank you so much for hosting us in your beautiful city. An important part of our project is knowledge mobilization. So taking our research and making it work for our geographically diverse province. We firmly believe that Northern perspectives are essential for a more dementia-inclusive Canada. To help city staff, especially municipal planners and city engineers, initiate interventions and solutions to make your streets more dementia inclusive, Our team will be hosting a follow-up workshop in the spring to get into the details of our planning and design guidelines, as well as our study findings. So we hope to see you again in the spring of 2024. To wrap up, I'd like to share a little about our knowledge mobilization video. The purpose of our video is to educate on the role of built environment as an essential component of dementia-friendly and inclusive communities, to challenge stereotypes of what it means to be a person living with dementia in Canadian neighborhoods, and to inspire action that includes people living with dementia in municipal decision-making and planning processes. The video was developed with 3 key stakeholder groups in mind. So the first being governmental organizations like the Public Health Agency of Canada, Dementia Friendly Communities Canada, and Health Canada, as well as non-governmental organizations like the Alzheimer Society of BC, Alzheimer Society of Canada, and the Office of the Seniors Advocate. The second key stakeholder group are municipal planners, urban designers, and educators. And the third, but definitely a last but not least situation, is people living with dementia, their care partners, and the general public, with the goal to inspire hope, optimism, and engagement. So 2 versions of the video have been produced. An 8-minute short documentary is available on our website and on our YouTube channel, but we're excited to share the 1.5-minute teaser with you today, so let's watch.
Awesome. So we will walk both of us first, and then both of them will follow.
Right on. Because of my disease, I'm not able to drive. I like to get out in the fresh air. I think that that's important for my health and well-being, getting the blood pumping to my brain.
I get lost 2 times already. So I get worse, later. So
At this corner here, where do you go, or how do you get back to your place from here?
Straight along here.
So you walk along the grass here.
Oh yeah. No matter where you go in North America, it is geared to driving. It is not geared to walking. The only thing I can really say about this whole scenario, it might not help me, it might not help her, but hopefully it will help somebody else.
I'd like to give a huge thanks to our video participants, Lynn Jackson, Esther and Chung Yoon, and Niels and Maureen Nielsen, as well as all of those involved in production. This study is funded through the Dementia Strategic Fund Awareness Raising Initiatives Program of the Public Health Agency of Canada and the Alzheimer Society Research Program. Also, a huge shout out to our municipal partners, the City of Burnaby and the City of Richmond. And follow us on social media for upcoming publications and more resources. Please feel welcome to share any of our content with your networks. And we hope to see you again for our Dementia Inclusive Planning and Design workshops in spring 2024. Thanks again. Bye.